silent converse. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Alright, I'm quite glad I went for that one rather than the other person. It's him, Harmick. I remember that weak chin and those knobbly knees. She stopped staring motionless at the figures amongst the trees. You best get a handle on her, Tom. His eyes fly wide in alarm.
How goes?
The elven man emerges from the clearing and freezes, staring at the devil of Karok. For an elf, he's tall and rangy, with a weather-beaten face beating stringly greasing hair. The others with him turn, glaring and gasping at the bronze golem.
Oh, Rock Shadow, what's that wicked thing doing here?
Why are you so nervous?
It's a killer! Look, no trouble. Just trying to do our work.
Beads of sweat have formed on his forehead, despite the chilling air.
We'd be much obliged if you'd leave us be. And take that thing with you.
He looks at the devil with a mixture of terror and loathing. Enough. What do you see, Tom? Is that the man who torched us? The devil swings on her feet, her whole body moving around the axes of her ankles. Though she's talking to you, her tension and concentrated spear of incense is focused on him. Read Harmick's soul. He steps away from you, but your awareness reaches through the trembling skin and the feeble resistance of his fear. You see memories, snow-shrouded forests partitioned by fallen pines and ferns, days measured by the steady swing of his axe. There are other moments too, recollections that flare up like a hearth's welcome fire. There are children, spry and lanky like you, but still full of rowdy energy of youth. Together you scatter white winter bloom petals on a grave. You reach deeper into Harmick's soul. Years roll back. A torch in your left hand bathes your face in shoulder and heat. Around you are all the men and women holding other torches, and the mounting air is acrid with the stench of smoke and sweat. Rage billows off the others. It's been a fever in your blood for days now, exhausting you and invigorating you in equal measure. You're at the edge of town, cold morn. It's hours yet before dawn, but the commotion has started to awaken the village. Candlelight ignites behind frost-crusted windows, and haunted faces peer out at you through the glass. Excuse me. You begin to doubt yourself. Just then a door slams. A villager comes racing through the streets, kicking up snow. With his stark white face and pale hair, he looks almost like a ghost. The line of torchbearers ripples as he gets by. He picks up speed, but nobody moves towards him. You imagine him breaking through the row, scattering your ranks like the bad dream that brought you all here. You imagine waking up in your bed, the heat from your torch nothing more than the warmth of your wife sleeping next to you. Instead, the villager reaches the row of torchbearers a stone's throw away from you. A woman advances from the line and buries her dagger in his neck. The rest of you bellows shout. Rage, memory, and bloodthirsty triumph boil up in you. You all come with a purpose. You came to bring justice to the traitors of Cold Morn. The next few hours are painted in colours more vivid than life. You put your torch to anything that stands and your sword to anyone who runs. It is the Magram himself whispers in your ear and guides your hand. Exhaustion has almost cooled your rage when you spy a house at the edge of town, one of the only buildings that hasn't already burned. It's flanked by a knotty spruce tree and the door is painted yellow. Yellow, the bloom of sunrise, the hue of your son's hair, the colour of cowardice. Just then, someone barrels into you from behind. It's a man. Someone you remember from the journey in Cold Morn, though you can't recall his name. He snarls at you, mad with indiscriminate rage, and it occurs to you that he's mistaken you for one of the villagers. You smash the window and hurl your torch inside. The other man has turned away. You think you hear a child shriek within the house, but it's impossible to tell above the roar of the riot. Harmick shivers as you pull away from his memory. His eyes are wide with guilt and fear. Spit it out. What did you see? He burned down your house. All of it. Ooh. I'll say it's not that simple. Don't give me that greasy horse shit. You looked into the scribbled dregs of his soul. Tell me what you saw. He steps towards you, strangely clumsy. Heat pattern streaks and flares across her body. The snow melts around her feet. He's not responsible for what happened to your family. Well, he kinda is. Kinda is. He's not, but he is, because he still had the torch. You know what? No, let's burn him. She stares at Harmonic. You hear only a whirring mechanism in her throat, but Harmonic leans closer.
What did you say?
His mouth quivers. What did it feel like? The torch in your hand, the blade you carried? What did it feel like? A wild, inhuman scream echoes out of the bizarre machinery of her throat. It drops Harmonic and his companions to her knees, where they cry out in terror. Gears squeal and crank as he rushes at him. Let's see what she can do. Where are you going? Where are you going?
Ready.
That's it.
Cool. That, and we get nice. Okay. Yeah, we're all guilty. All of them. Yeah, well, that was easy enough. Yep. Yep, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Well, that was easy. So I can replace her again. But first we have this.
Almost 15 years I've been looking for him.
Stares ahead as you approach, the ink black marbles of her eyes fixed on some distant point. Her essence swells and swirls in the series of contemplation.
All that fretting and wondering. And the deed's over in less time than it takes to tell.
Yep, always is. My cousin says something similar about her wedding night. Hey! I hope Harmonic's death has brought you peace.
Peace. Now there's a funny word for it. I killed a lot of folk in my time. Felt their blood slick in my hands, smelled their flesh as it burned.
She holds her hands in front of herself as they twitch and spasm.
And I always used to imagine what it would be like to have Harmka under my knife, feeling his breath come hot and fast, smelling the fear ooze out of him.
I'm just gonna be stoic.
Couldn't feel a thing. His fading pulse weren't no more than a powder of rain to me.
Shrugs, letting her arms clatter to her sides. What do you mean?
This body, it weren't made for feeling. Gouging my fingers into Harmka's wasting flesh, his screams just buzzing in my skull.
He flexes and unflexes her fingers in a few lightning quick motions.
All it did was remind me
Of what?
that this is a madman's fever dream. Like a prison, but no, because in a prison, you lay your head down and you feel the straw soft beneath you. Your flesh prickling in the cold, black bread crumbling on your tongue.
She turns her arms in front of you, examining the scroll work on the back of her hands with horror and wonder. Come on, it really can't be all as that bad. Certainly sounds like it's that bad.
I still dream I'm folk. I wake up some mornings wondering why I can't feel the floor beneath me, thinking I must have fallen and gone crippled. But then I lift my head, see a bronze corpse stretching out in front of me.
She lowers her head as tremor runs through her. I'm sorry to have to go through that.
It's not pity I want, it's a choice.
Draws back from you.
I dreamed too of what Galvino did that night. Those moments. I'd endure another cold morn if it'd spare me this fate.
Rubs her hands together, tracing her even joints with her fingers. What happened exactly?
It was after I got caught in Stalwart. They'd locked me in a little house by the inn, the old mayor and his cronies.
Her head dips as she remembers.
When a crowd of them came for me in the dark of night, I was only surprised it had taken them so long.
Hesitates.
Only they didn't march me to no gallows. No. They snuck me to another house on the edge of town, real sneaky-like. That's where I met Galvino.
Galvino was living stalwart at the time?
True enough. This was before the locals gave him the boot. Still weren't a popular fellow, though. He was fiddling with some machinery in his workshop. Had his sleeves rolled up even though it was cold enough to see your breath. Never actually looked at me until he started fitting some copper helmet over my head. By that time, the mayor's goons had me trussed up good and tight. Galvino was having himself a grand time barking orders at that lot.
I think I see where this is going. Okay, so what did the mayor have to do with this?
He had agreed to hand me over to Galvino for an experiment. Claimed it was a fair punishment, but the townfolk weren't too pleased at being denied their stone pitching.
He crossed her arms, nodding.
Didn't help that they heard the jangle of copper in that deal. In the end, that's what sent Galvino and the old mayor packing.
I see.
So while Galvino's fastening that helmet over my head and them copper bands around my arms, I'm starting to look at his contraption. And that's when I see it.
The black eyes are fixed at some indomitable point. Her essence dims.
It's this metal suit strapped into the machine just like me. A cold, dead-eyed thing, all done up with fancy carvings and such.
Yeah, this was the suit you had now. Did you know what they intended?
I had this terrible cold feeling in my gut, but I still couldn't figure.
She shakes her head.
I start asking Galvino and the rest of them what's going on, but they're too busy to answer. Then suddenly, they're waiting, staring at me with that fixed, horrified look, but they ain't watching me. They're watching for something to happen.
Her eyes flicker, rolling and scraping behind her face.
Galvino tells the woman nearest the machine to flip the handle.
4 more points!
And then, just pain. Being torn apart every which way, feeling my soul peeled from my body.
Her limbs twitch and shudder. She pauses, waiting for her body to fall still.
By the time I came to, I couldn't feel a thing. Just this dull, distant sort of ache.
I heard the old man cackling and chattering. When I saw him looming over me, looking down at me with hungry eyes, I tried to scream, tried to swing at him.
I think that was when I knew.
Shakes her head and falls silent. That's how you ended up here. I'll go with passionate. How could anyone put another person through something so terrible?
I reckon I'm the wrong person for that sort of question. But if it cools your conscience, Galvino didn't get off easy.
Did he?
The rest of Stalwart didn't take kindly to having a killer in their midst. nor to seeing their mayor and the army Valians strike a secret deal. They drove Galvino out, destroyed a fortune in machinery, and wrote a letter to the Academy in Salona, ruining what was left of his name. Still, he's lucky he didn't get a pelting. The old mayor fled too, and Stalwart's been as snug and cheery as ever.
Now that we've dealt with Harmonic, why have you stuck around?
You're better company than Galvino.
She says in an offhand, teasing fashion, but she looks away from you, fidgeting with a rivet.
Been a while since I were out in the world. Guess I'm keen on seeing more of it. Even if I'm stuck with a bleeding heart.
Bleeding heart.
Anyways, I've been wondering about that fortress.
Interact about the secrets of the door, perhaps? She's quiet, fixated on her squeaking joint.
Near everyone thinks it'll have just the thing they need.
Ticks a list off her with her clicking fingers.
Those villagers wanted to fix up their brook downtown.
Yeah.
Galvino always thought it carried some great secret of Animanson. And all them adventurers came looking for fancy gear.
What are you hoping to find?
I don't know. Something to help me feel. Or forget. Effigy's eyes. Maybe just something new.
Tips of her metal fingers clank together.
I just figured, with those dwarves being expert smiths and all, maybe they had something to unmake me. Put me back into my body.
I could be rational, but that's yeah. Perhaps you'll find something yet. Yeah, try and be positive.
You really think so, huh? Well, ain't like you to blast hot air.
Okay, well. Oh, yeah. Not great for her. We're just going to deal with that now. Oh, don't. So I've got Spellcaster and Necromancer. How do I want to deal with this? Can you go there? Go straight up the middle. Fires you. There you go. Yeah, and see what we can get done there. Durans can't do anything until we're in combat, so here we go. Oh, there's a lot of them. Oh, double. Double trouble. Alright. Bring your wizard. That sounds great. Have to move you up to deal with that. Waiting for that. I might just actually stun you then. Keep firing with you. Oh, she did make it. Cool. What we'll do is I'll do... Yeah. Let's deal with you. Deal with you too. So.
Yes.
Hoping not to do it. Get rid of He's dead. Okay, I don't know why. Don't think there's anybody else there, so. Good. Okay. Back down. Nice.
Sure.
Yeah, water or something, but I don't know what that was. Nice. Well, that was relatively simple.
Hey.
Get them in quick. I don't know where the fuck you're going. Where the fuck are you going? Yeah, they just wanted to go in the rainbow world there. I think what the hell are we doing? Why are they doing that? Decent. Not doing anything. I thought I just did that to not stun them, and apparently we're still getting stunned. One. Okay. Stun them again. I'm going to do that as much as possible. Same. The thing on you. Really needs to die, folks. Like, I can't express to you how much that really needs to die. Can't do that. I don't think I'm going to range of you. Don't think I've got the range. Close. Dying quick enough, and that's really, really unfortunate. Oh, you're not dead yet. Come on. Finally. Druid. A druid. Duration? You never know.
Love.
Yeah, okay, so
That's it.
okay. Pretty hard.
Ready, Watcher.
Kill me yet.
What?
Stun you again. Oh, that's good. Deal with that. You deal with that. Deal with you. There we got there, folks. Took a while. We got there. We got there. Holy moly me. Speed this up now, I think. Doodle-doo-doo. Wow, that was holy moly. Okay. Rest in the lair of a sky dragon. Sky dragon. The hell's a sky dragon?
The devil has not scorched you yet, eh? Perfetto.
Eredo, I have news.
Yes. Does the sniveling cur hide in his home? Or has he been exiled to a place even more frigid and foul?
Oh, he clapped his hands together in excitement. I learned that he murdered his sister.
Diverus! The man is even more of a wretch than I thought. What of him now? Surely the villagers string him up with his own fishing line.
Well, he's leaving town with his tail tucked between his legs.
Perfetto! Oh, I only wish I could have seen it.
Wish I could have seen it.
I will open a good wine tonight. As for you, take this.
We have to start using potions as well. It's another aspect I just don't use enough. And I should be using them. It's just